Hi friends, I'm Teacher Luke and welcome to a DET Ready VIP live lesson. This is a sample lesson which I'm posting on YouTube. I run these live lessons every single week on DET Ready VIP for members only. So if you would like to join, you can by clicking the link below in the video description. Today's live lesson is all about mistakes commonly made by students when doing the describe a photo question type. Remember, on the DET, you got 4 photos to describe, so you need to avoid making these common mistakes. So that's what today's VIP lesson is all about. I hope you find it helpful. Again, if you would like to join me and interact with me, you can click the link below in the video description. But anyway, let's start this lesson. Common mistakes that students make when describing a photograph. There are 3 mistakes I see a lot of students make, which are very easy to fix. So today's lesson, we're going to highlight these mistakes. I'm going to give you some techniques to overcome them. And I want you to write your answers in the chat, and I'll give you some feedback. Let's make this interactive and fun for everyone. So the first task for you, I would like you to read this photo and tell me, why is this a low scoring answer? Now, there could be some grammar mistakes, or it could just be as the style of the answer. Have a think and write in the chat, why do you think this is a low scoring answer? Okay. Octay said they are short sentences. Yeah, that's all. That's one reason. Yeah. Malatesh said the grammar. Yeah, what part of the grammar is wrong? This is a common mistake, by the way, the grammar part. Octay's got it correct. Okay. Yeah, great, guys. So there are several mistakes in this passage. There's one obvious grammar mistake, which I'm going to point out in tip number 1. And then the rest of the answer is just a bit simple. It doesn't really describe the picture. It just more like labels what is in the photograph. I see a bed. There is equipment. A doctor is talking. Now, these are not real descriptions. It's not using any descriptive language. It's just outlining, almost bullet pointing what is in the photo. So these are some common mistakes. So mistake number 1, which you might have noticed, is to do with grammar. So here are 2 photos with 2 introductory sentences, but there is a common mistake in both of these sentences. So what is the mistake here? Number 1, in this image, there are a patient and a doctor in a hospital. And number 2, in this photograph, there are a teacher and students in front of a large interactive screen. What is the mistake here? Okay, I think most people, again, Nick Fisher said are, Jihan grammar, Noah are, Ruth there are, Anna plural and singular. I think everyone here is getting it correct. So this is a very common mistake when you are trying to describe a photo with 2 or more people or 2 or more items. What happens is typically students will see patient and doctor. That's more than one. That's plural. So they will use the plural verb here. There are a patient and a doctor. Same here. In this photograph, there are a teacher and students. Now, this makes sense. It's kind of logical. There's more than one noun. So normally we'll use the plural verb to describe it. However, what is wrong is that it should be is. There is a patient and a doctor, and there is a teacher and a student. Now, who knows why? Do you want to write the answer in the chat? Why do you think this is? So Ruth says there's 2 subjects. That's correct. So if there are 2 subjects, we normally will use the plural verb are. So why in this type of sentence do we use is? Fisher says because we're talking about a specific person. Almost. Almost. I think you got the right idea. It's difficult to explain. So here is the simple rule. When describing multiple subjects, you got to make sure that the verb form matches the first subject. Now, the first subject is the most important one. In this case, the first subject is a patient. A patient is the first subject, so the verb form, plural or singular, needs to match up with the first subject. That's kind of the key point. Using are just doesn't work here. It makes it sound very awkward because we use just for singulars, right? It's like one. There is one patient, a patient. So this is the rule. When describing multiple subjects, make sure the verb form matches with the first subject. The first subject in this sentence is a patient, which is singular, so you need to use is. Same for this one. In this photo, there is a teacher and students in front of a large interactive screen. This is correct. In the first example was are, that was wrong. Is singular and a teacher is singular. Okay, how about here? Can you fill in this gap? Is it is or are? Yes, in this case, are. What is the first subject? The first subject is patients, plural. The second subject is a doctor, singular. But remember, we got to make the verb match with the first subject, so patients. So it is are. In this image, there are patients and a doctor in a hospital. You could be more specific. There are one, two, three, four. There are 5 patients and a doctor in hospital. Yeah, in this one, same as earlier, but this time we switched the order of the subject. So a teacher is second and students is first. Students is plural. So what is the correct answer here? Yes, everyone's getting it correct. The answer is are, because students is plural. Verb subject agreement is important, and this is a very common mistake I see a lot when people describe their photos on the Duolingo English test. There is more, actually. English is never easy. So if we want to keep the idea of the sentence the same, but we're switching the order of the sentence. So now we have students and a teacher at the start, a doctor and a patient at the start of the sentence. So what is the verb that goes here? Is it is or are? Okay, some people are writing is, some people are writing are. In this case, it's are. So if the if the subjects of the sentence are at the start of the sentence, students and a teacher, then we do use the plural are. Students and a teacher are studying in a classroom. A doctor and a patient are talking in a hospital room. All right, so it's a bit confusing. English is a kind of a tricky language in that sense that if you change the structure of a sentence, then the grammar should change as well. So how about here? A quick task for you guys. Can you complete these sentences? So either write is or are. But then when you do it in the chat, put the number so I can see. Okay, great. I think everyone is just about getting it correct. Let's go through together. Number 1, in this photograph, there is a tour guide and tourists at a historic site. So is, because a tour guide is the first subject in this sentence and it is singular, a tour guide, one tour guide. Same here, number 2, in this photo, there is a father and a little girl walking on the beach. A father is singular, one father. There is one father, so we use is. Now, if we change the sentence order and we have the subjects combined at the start of the sentence, then it follows a more typical grammar rule that you're probably used to. So a chef and a waiter. How many people? A chef and a waiter. How many people are we talking about here? 2. Yeah, one chef and one waiter. A chef and a waiter are preparing food in a kitchen. So in this case, 2 people, which is plural, so we use are. And the last one here, there are chairs and a table set with drinks and food. Chairs, is that singular or plural? Plural, so we use are. This is the first subject in the photo. or the first subject in the sentence. So we use are, the plural verb, to to um to describe it. Okay, so that was mistake number one. Verb subject agreement. Okay, mistake number two is labeling. So this happens a lot. I see when people do not prepare for the exam, they just take the exam without any preparation. They didn't watch my YouTube video or anything about how to structure your answer. They didn't take the VIP lessons I'm teaching you today on how to organize your response. So instead, they just label the photo, just like this. I can see six men. There is a TV and a computer. Also, I can see a sofa. Now, grammatically speaking, are there any grammar mistakes here? Yeah, the answer is no. There's no grammar mistakes. But is this a high scoring answer? Also, no. Everyone's right. No. Yes. Also, not a high scoring answer. No grammar mistakes. The vocabulary is fine, but it's not a good answer. You won't not get a high score for this because what are you doing? You are just labeling the photo. This might as well be bullet points. And that you don't want to do that. You want to demonstrate your descriptive English or how you use adjectives, how you structure your answers, use details. This is not a good answer. Bad answer. So, what I have taught you in this VIP course so far, and if you've watched my YouTube videos, you might get you might have seen this as well. You need to structure your answer. To score high, write a good response which uses discourse coherence as well. So, sentence number one, you want to write a general summary. Sentence two, you can describe who is doing what. Sentence three, you can describe what is there. And for the speaking ones, if you have enough time, which I guess you will for the speaking part, then you can do some speculation. This is much better than just labeling. You should follow a structure like this. You don't have to follow this one exactly, but you should follow and learn a structure like this. So let's see it in action. So, a general summary. This is a picture of a man giving a presentation at work. That's good. A general summary or general statement just outlines basically, simply, what is happening in this photo. You do not need to go into details yet. Sentence two, you want to talk about who is doing what. Basically, what are the actions? What's happening in the photo? For this, use the present continuous grammar. So in this example, he is holding something in his right hand and showing it to the audience. Now, what is he holding? We don't know. So just write something. You can write he is holding something, he is holding an object, he is holding an item, something like that, in his right hand and showing it to his audience. That is the action. Game console, possibly a game console, possibly. And number three, then you want to talk about what is where. We discussed this in our first lesson in this VIP series. Now, what is where means where are things located in the photograph? Okay, so where are these people? Three members of the audience are sitting directly in front of him. What else could you say? There is an interactive screen behind the presenter. To the left of the presenter, so over here, which is his left, there are two computer monitors. You want to describe the location of things in the photograph. Now, this is a very descriptive answer. This is a high scoring answer, and it is much better than just labeling the photograph. The word count is 38 words, so I think that's achievable. If you cannot do all three sentences, that's fine. Just two is fine. But still, this is a good description, a good way to describe a photograph. So mistake number two, do not label. Okay, I'm going to give you a minute and I want you to describe this photograph. Can you do that? If you write it in the chat, I will pick a couple of them and give feedback here to you. So in this photograph, write three sentences, a general summary, who is doing what, and what is where. Can you do that? I'll time you. I'll give you 1 minute from now. Start writing your answer. I'm going to copy your answers into here. So I can, when I correct it, everyone can see my correction. That way we can learn together. Okay, so Frishta. This was the first one. This is an image of two gorgeous young women that are laughing to one another. Okay, good. Don't forget, capital letter. Always do capital letter. This is an image, just one image. This is an image of two gorgeous young woman. Woman is singular, women that are laughing to one another with, laughing with one another, like this. Prishta, good job. Thank you. This is a good general summary. Now, what you could do is do sentence two and sentence three to go into more details and be more descriptive. Okay, Marilyn. It's a bit bigger answer. I will make it smaller. You guys, just you can see my screen, right? When I give feedback, can you write yes in the chat? You can see my PowerPoint. Yes, thank you. Okay, so this was an answer. There is a girl taking photos. Yeah, okay. The girl is holding a camera in her right hand, and the other girl is holding her hand. That's good. Actions. This is a good. This is good. They look happy and are smiling. Okay, good. You need to have a period or full stop here. So there is a girl taking photos. The girl is holding a camera in her right hand, and the other girl is holding her hand. They look happy and are smiling. Okay, good. I would just change it to be a bit more specific to one of the girls, like that, because there's two. We don't know which one. So to be more vague, just one of the girls, or the girl on the right is holding the camera, like that. But I think overall that's a good answer. Well done. Okay, Sunday. I'll do a couple more. Sunday said this is a wide shot of two young lady holding in in the green grass field. Okay, wide shot. Good. This is from our lesson. It's from our lesson last week. A good noun. Good. This is a wide shot of two young ladies, plural, holding hands in in the green grassy field. Okay, Sunday like that. That would be better. Great. I'll do two more, everyone, and then we'll move on. I'm sorry, I won't be able to check everyone's answer today. There's quite many of you today. I'll just pick a random one. So this is Ruth. Ruth said, "This is a photo of two girls playing in the field. One woman is holding a camera in her right hand. Both are holding hands with each other." Something like that. This is a photo of two girls playing in, I would say a field, not the field, because the is for specific things that have usually been mentioned previously. A field is just like a general. This is a field. We don't know which field exactly, but it is a field in general. But articles in English, oh, they're so tricky. Anyway, I would do a. One woman is holding a camera in her right hand. I would put and here. And both, I was saying both women. And both women are holding hands with each other. Like that. Okay, does that help, Ruth? I hope that was helpful. My answer was like this, so you might see a very simple answer as well. This picture shows two young women holding hands in a green field. The woman on the right is taking a photo with her camera and laughing loudly. There are trees behind the girls. Very simple. Remember, how long do you have for this question type? How many minutes? One, just one. So you can't write, you're not expected to write complex complex sentences and long answers. You only have 1 minute, so This is a good answer for 1 minute. You have 90 seconds for the speaking one. So that's a bit different. You can speak for much longer, but for the writing one, you only have 1 minute. So it's really short. Okay, mistake number three. Common mistake number three is this is an easy way for you to boost your score because it's simple vocabulary that I think all of you know. If you're listening to this lecture in English, you know these words, but using them kind of when you're taking the exam is, of course, a bit trickier. But when you are practicing, you should practice using them. So when you do your exam, you are able to use them easily. So, what type of vocabulary can be used to improve this answer? What type of vocabulary? What word form? Nouns, verbs, prepositions, articles? What do you think? You can write your answer in the chat. Jose wrote adjectives. Wint, adjectives. Frichte, adjectives and adverbs. That's right. That's the correct answer. In our next lesson, we're going to cover adjectives and specifically adjective order because that's a bit tricky. But in this case, adjectives. What are the word types in red? Are they adjectives or adverbs? And what about blue? Yeah, Octave's got it correct. So red ones are adjectives. They describe nouns. This photo shows a woman, but to make it better, this photo shows a young woman studying. How is she studying? Hard or intently. At a table, well, be more specific. Use an adjective. At a brown table. At a wooden table. Several books are arranged across the desk. Several books are arranged messily across the desk. She is wearing a t-shirt. Well, maybe she's wearing an orange t-shirt with blue denim dungarees on top. There is a big pocket on the front of the dungarees. So just very simply, add in adjectives and adverbs to your answer makes it a lot more descriptive and demonstrates your high level vocabulary, and vocabulary is, of course, on the scoring criteria. So, mistake number three is not using adjectives correctly. So, what are adjectives? Just to give you a quick overview, adjectives are words that describe a noun. They help us understand what something or someone is like by giving extra information. Purpose, they tell us things like the size, the color, or the age, or the quality. Adverbs are words that describe how something happens, often by giving details about a verb, an action verb. So they tell us how, when, where, or to what extent something happens. So here are a bunch you can use. I will upload this PDF to VIP so you can download and study with it. But here are a bunch of them. So for describing photos, we have like adjectives like bright, calm, colorful, clear, dark, beautiful, busy, happy, crowded, peaceful, sunny, cloudy, warm, cool, clean. For adverbs, we have brightly, clearly, calmly, softly, loudly, happily, slowly, quickly, gently, strongly, and so on. Almost all adverbs in English end with ly. Not all, but almost all. There are some irregular ones. So together, these adjectives and adverbs can make it easier to describe your photos with more detail and clarity, boosting your score by using high-level vocabulary. I recommend you use them as you can because it will help your score. Okay, can you find the mistakes here? This photo shows an American, beautiful, young, tall woman studying at a large wooden brown table. Okay, Samula says the adjective order. That is correct. So actually, when it comes to adjectives, we're going to cover this more in our next lesson. So join our lesson on Monday for that. But when it comes to adjective order, you can't just use them just as you choose. So if you want to use more than one adjective, you got to follow a specific order, which is really tough, to be honest. It's really tricky. Native speakers like myself, we actually don't know this order explicitly. Like if you asked me, what is the adjective order? Like I don't, probably couldn't tell you, but we know it very innately. We just intrinsically, we if it's not used correctly, it sounds very strange to us. So, for example, this one here is all wrong. American beautiful young tall woman. That's wrong and sounds very uncomfortable for to native speakers. So instead, it should be like this. This photo shows a beautiful, tall, young American woman studying at a large brown wooden table. This is the adjective order. I recommend you study and practice. The more you practice, the more kind of natural it'll come. So the first adjective is opinion. Just to clarify, I'm going to make myself bigger for you. When you're describing your photos and you want to use adjectives, you do not need to use more than two or three or four. You do not need that. I would actually recommend never using more than three because it sounds a bit overwhelming and a bit like you're trying too hard. So three would be the max, but two is fine. And if you're doing two, think of it this way: opinion first, fact second. That's a very simple way of thinking how to use adjectives in the correct order. Opinion first, fact second. So for that photo of that girl, beautiful. That's my opinion, right? So she's a beautiful American woman. American might be a fact in this case. Or a beautiful young woman. Okay, like that. Beautiful would be my opinion. Young woman is a fact. So opinion, that's always first. Then you go for size or height, small, big. Then physical quality, like thick, thin, smooth. Age, shape, color, origin, material, and purpose. This is the order of adjectives. I will say this again. I will repeat myself. Please do not use nine adjectives in your answer. It is confusing and unnecessary. Really, three will be the max, but two is totally fine. Beautiful, tall, young American woman. I did four as an example for you, but this is really unnecessary and it's really awkward and kind of a bit confusing. Um, so beautiful, opinion, tall, size, young would be age. I skipped physical quality. American would be origin over here, right? So in that order. Studying at a large brown wooden table. Large up here. Brown color, wooden material, like that. But like I said, you do not need to use that many. Yes, you can download this PDF um, on VIP under the recording section. I will upload it as soon as I finished. Just so I'm checking you understanding me, how many adjectives should you use to describe one noun? What's the maximum amount? Yeah, three. It's just my opinion, but you can do more. But for an exam, don't do more than three. Three is enough. Two is fine as well. Two is fine. Even one is fine. One is also fine. But if you want to describe it, then you can use no more than three. Don't make it harder for yourself. To keep it simple, if you're just going to use two, usually what you'll do is your opinion first and fact second. So like I said, beautiful is my opinion, and a fact could be tall or young or American, like that. Okay, your turn. Write a sentence using the correct adjective order. Three adjectives max. If you do that, I will give you some feedback for the first five people that write their answer. So this photo shows. Okay, this is a good one. Here from Samula. This photo shows a young, beautiful woman working on her desk. I would change that. A beautiful young woman. Like that. A beautiful young woman working on her desk. And preposition at her desk. Working at her desk. Okay, great. We're going to cover this. We're going to do a vocabulary lesson next week where we'll look at more adjectives. So join Monday's lesson, and that will be helpful too. Another way to improve your vocabulary and using different adjectives is to think of some alternatives to the word very. Now, quite often we'd write very big, very important, very good, very bad, very beautiful, very ugly, very easy, very difficult. That's not wrong. And native speakers use it all the time. It's totally fine to use. But in terms of this English exam, then you want to showcase your English, right? You want to show off and demonstrate how good your English is. In that case, you can use some alternative words. So rather than very important, what could you write? Significant? Yeah, significant works. Maybe vital, crucial. Rather than very good, you can write excellent, impressive. Okay, outstanding. Here are a bunch you can use. Again, you can download this PDF later to study with. So alternatives, try to use these words. Again, this is an English test, so if you can demonstrate your high level vocabulary, that is good. You will boost, I will definitely boost your score. So yeah, let's read them. Very important, crucial, necessary, paramount, very good, outstanding, excellent, superb, very bad, awful, terrible, disgraceful, very beautiful, stunning, striking, or gorgeous, very ugly, hideous, horrible, unattractive, very easy, simple, or effortless, and very difficult, demanding, challenging, or tough. Try to use these. You don't have to. And in real life, you do not need to do these, but it is a good way to demonstrate your English. And again, this is an English test. So the more you can demonstrate and show off your high scoring, your high level of English vocabulary, the better. Okay. I will upload that PDF to VIP as soon as we're done. We're going to now do a quick Q&A for 10 minutes. So if you have any questions, put them in the chat and I will spend the next 5 to 10 minutes answering your questions. Prishta, you still can't access the practice test. Okay. Okay. I will, please email me. I know you did already. Please email me hello@detready.com and I will get that sorted for you. While I'm waiting for your questions, what I'll do, I'll just show you VIP DET Ready. Yeah. So while I'm waiting for your questions, I'll just show you how DET VIP Ready works in case you are new here. So when you log into DET VIP and you become a member, you get access to my production score program, which is these question types all covering a bit of private information there, covering all the different types of production score questions. You can also access it by clicking courses up here. If you click on events, you can see the live lessons that will be hosted by me over the next month. I will upload February schedule very soon as well, and you can join by RSVPing. You can also go on to this discussion space and ask your questions, do your homework, which I'll assign to you, and I will do my best to check like I did here for Gaston. If you haven't yet, make sure you put your email address here in this form because I will update your practice platform for 30 days if you do this for free. So every member gets 30 days for free. So make sure you put your email address in here. And you can join the lessons by RSVPing. So we had 50 people today. We got 38 coming on the next lesson. And here is where recordings tab. By here is where I upload all the recordings from these lessons with the PDFs. So today's lesson and PDF will be uploaded to here as soon as we finish. Okay, I hope that's helpful. Questions, guys. Okay, where are we? Jessica, what can I do to improve my vocabulary? Well, it depends on your time frame. If you want to improve your vocabulary quickly, just to pass this exam, then um, go in on to VIP, go under DET News, and download this all the vocabulary sheets I've uploaded. So this one by here, vocabulary for interactive writing and sample. I've also uploaded a massive list here. Download this and try to see how many you know, how many you don't know, and try to memorize the ones you don't know. That's short term. That's kind of you know, cram study technique. Long term, you want to kind of do that, but pair it with productive activities like writing a diary or speaking and trying to use new words productively through speaking and writing. There's a lot of research that's taken place that the more you practice using, not just learning, but using new words, the longer you can remember and the easier you can remember. So that's what I recommend, but that takes time, like years, long, long time. If you want to do something very quickly, just kind of get big word lists and just try to memorize, cram memorize, just for kind of for to pass the exam. That's what I recommend. Yeah. Okay. Previous classes are all recorded. Yes. Marilyn says that fill in the blanks is the most difficult question. That's really difficult for me too. What I recommend for that is simply just practicing because it's almost like a puzzle, like a crossword puzzle. And with puzzles, typically, the more you do a certain type of puzzle, the better you get at that puzzle. Doesn't mean you improve your English or improve your vocabulary, but you get very good at that type of puzzle. So really practice, 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 practice. For fill in the blanks, you have 20 seconds to read a sentence and type your answer. So you don't have time to think, really. It needs to be quite instinctive. So practice and read a lot of books as well, just to build up your vocabulary, of course. Sunday says how to use ChatGPT to practice describing a photo. So I recommend you get the photos I show you, type in your answer up to 3 to 4 sentences, and then in ChatGPT you give the prompt, please correct my grammar and vocabulary. That's all. If you ask it for a score, it doesn't give a very good response. So just please correct my grammar and vocabulary, and it'll give you a good indication. It's not perfect, but it's pretty good. Where are we? Jihan, practice tests. You do not need to buy it. If you're a VIP member, you can put in your name in that form and I will update your practice platform for you. Rabina says she can't access yet. So if you put your email, we will update it for you, but you have to follow the instructions. And also, sometimes you need to log out and log back in to activate it. So please try that, log out and log back in. If that doesn't work, please email me and I will update it personally for you. But you have to make a free account first. That's important. If you don't make a free account on practice.detready.com, then I can't update your account. So it needs to be, you need to make a free account first. Anna, typically we don't. The 30 days is kind of a one-time gift, so to speak. But I know you attend all these lessons, Anna. So if you email me, I will do it for you. So can you email me and I will upgrade your account for you. Normally, my colleague updates the accounts, Monica. But today, if you email me, I will do it for you. So hello@detready.com. I hope that helps, Anna. Sammy, so the vocabulary for fill in the blanks changes all the time. So I don't know what word list they use. They don't share that, so I can give like the word list I showed earlier that could be helpful, but like it's not like an IELTS test where they make different papers like every 3 months. The Duolingo test has like thousands and thousands and thousands of questions, which they just kind of repeat randomly to you. So I don't have a word list. No one does. Not just me. No one has a word list, unfortunately. Malatesh, how is the score distributed? I'm not sure exactly what you mean, but the describing a photo contributes to your production and literacy score. That's write about the photo, and speak about the photo is your production and conversation score. They are quite heavily weighted because there's so many of them. There are four, remember? So it's quite a lot. So they are relatively heavily weighted in the exam. I hope that helps. Weighted means like important, like they contribute heavily and they contribute a lot to your overall score. Frishta, the previous homework was on the PDF file from the previous lesson. Noah, it says, can you type when you're typing? Can you look at the keyboard? Yeah, you can. You can look down when you're typing. Um, you got to kind of do it naturally. If you do it naturally, you won't get disqualified. So you can type and kind of look at the screen and type and look at the screen and like that. But if you just like head right down for the whole 5 minutes, that maybe that's not good. Jihan, if your test wasn't updated, try to log out and log back in. That might work. If it doesn't work again, please email me hello@detready.com. Okay. We'll do two more questions. Wint says she got, or he or she got 110 on the practice test. Can you take the real exam? Depends on what score you need. What score do you need, Wint? And Odalis, is there a clear way to know exactly what the whole test requirements? What do you mean exactly? I'm not sure what that means. Can you rephrase it? Oh, Wint, if you need 95, I think you're good to go. I think you can try. Yeah. Um, Wint, of course, the problem is that it's I don't want to guarantee that you will get that score, but if your practice score is 110 and you need 95, I think it seems like you're ready, but I cannot 100% guarantee you're ready. Of course, you know that, right? But I think you're ready. And yeah, take the test when you feel relaxed and you feel good. Malatesh, is Duolingo controlled by AI? Yes, mostly AI, but also AI plus humans. But I think mostly AI. The first the first check is AI, and then the second check is humans, if that makes sense. Odlis, the process, you mean the structure of the exam? Well, okay, I'll describe very quickly. The first part is vocabulary. You have the read and select and fill in the blanks vocabulary questions. Then you go into the kind of random, what do they call it? Computer computer adaptive test questions. There are three: fill in the blanks, the paragraph, dictation, listen and read aloud. After that, you then go into interactive listening and interactive reading. I forget the order. After that, it's speaking, I believe, and then after that, it's writing. So I hope that helps. You can, if you take the official practice test, then it follows the same order, but on the practice test, it's just much shorter. Noah, that you get the if you become well, when you are a VIP member, you can get the practice platform for 30 days for free, but you have to fill out that form I showed you, and then my colleague will update your account in about 24 hours. Okay, guys, I have to leave. Thank you so much for joining today's lesson. I hope it was helpful. Was it okay? Write yes in the chat or no if it's not okay. Was it helpful? Thank you. I see lots of yeses. Thank you. Thank you, guys. I'm glad it's helpful. And our next lesson is on Monday, I believe. Check the schedule. And also, I'm going to be hosting a Q&A on Tuesday to VIP members plus everyone else. So join that and ask me your questions. I'll be here to help you. Also, write your questions in the discussion space, and I will check that as well. So, yeah, thank you very much. Have a lovely day, and I'll see you. Oh, got to pick up my daughter. That's my alarm. Go and get your daughter from school. Okay, thanks, guys. I'll see you soon. Take care.